All right, Salakia. Ain't nothing but Satan. But once again, giving out praise to Yahawashi, Rawchaa Qadash, double honors to the Apostles of Greatmilstone, Shalom to you, Akim. But as I was saying, I was just meditating on the lies that Esau has told about our people, and I can just remember some of them, like us being genetically predisposed to being ignorant. Okay, we can't drive because of the shape of our cranium. All types of madness, all types of madness like that, man. And that shit, the other night I was out, holding camp out here in San Diego. I still got to figure out a way to edit all my videos and get them up on YouTube on time or whatever. But the Lord had it to where this Christian Edomite pastor, just happened to be out enjoying his night on a Wednesday, sipping his latte with his wife, right next to me, right next to where I have camp at or whatever. And he, after a good hour of listening, of me just rolling in the spirit, he was getting offended, he was getting cut. Okay, so he, stood up, and the first thing that he asked, and this is how you know that Esau is tumbling, man. His system is falling, because when you reject an Edomite, all right, in accordance with your free speech to do so, look, I don't want to talk to you. Okay, I don't want to answer any of your questions. I don't have to answer to you. All right, when you reject Esau, when you don't want to deal with him, he gets cut, he gets hurt. Which that just goes to show you that vocab alone, really, he needs the Israelites, man. He needs us. He needs the apostles. Okay, that's how that's why the scripture says, man, we cannot do anything against the truth, but for the truth. Roughly paraphrasing, man. That's how he gets his listeners. Anytime he mentions the Israelites, man, people are gonna pop up. Oh, okay, he's talking about the Israelites. Let's see what the Israelites have to say. So anyways, man, the guy got up. The first thing he asked me is, how old are you? And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, yo, why the fuck does that matter? I'm 26. So what? And then he continues to, he starts to introduce himself. Oh, I'm a pastor in Ohio, this and blah, 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 that, or whatever. And so, yeah, basically, as I said, I was just meditating on some of the lies that they told and whatnot, and how they didn't have a reference point. It was just straight up false bullshit and what you call that thing? Salakia. Pseudoscience. That's what it was. With no reference points. No actual scientific and its true meaning in the etymology of science. All right. There was no knowledge in the philosophies that they taught about our people, because of the shape of our craniums. We're just, predisposed to act a certain way or do this or to be that, There was no proof of that. He could just spew it out of his mouth and the masses of people would believe it, just like he does today. People just gloss over the fact that the so-called white man literally just came out with an article saying that the oldest piece of art found on the planet is 73,000 years old, man. And I brought that up in the camp that I had the other night, man. He found a chip, okay, a piece of a rock that had been chipped off in South Africa, and apparently it was a mark on it that looked like a hashtag mark, and he said it was fucking art from 73,000 years ago. Okay, now nobody's gonna question the time period. Oh, how did you date it? Nobody's gonna question it, because he's the God of this world, man. Just like when he was teaching that we're just predisposed genetically to be ignorant and stupid and to lack knowledge, all right? But what we've done through the spirit, okay, and even on a physical level, we've taken all the lies and the slander that he said about our people and put it to the test. And over the last 500 years, real science, okay, a real conclusion concludes that all of that was false, And right now I'm speaking outside the scripture real quick, but I'm going to jump right into them as soon as I get a little bit closer to my house or whatever. But all that was found to be a lie. You know? All of it. Why was it found to be a lie? Because it wasn't based on anything. There was no reference point. It wasn't rooted. It had no foundation. Okay? He just thought it up. He had an epiphany. Okay? He was inspired from the left-hand side to just push out a lie. And people just ate it up, you know? Okay, but we put that to the test and concluded scientifically that no, that was just not true. Based off an observation, all right, and you could just say from the last 500 years, okay? Even in the last couple hundred years, okay? Or you can go all the way back to the time of the Dark Ages. You can conclude that that is false science, pseudoscience, okay? Now, I bring all that up to say the so-called white man, he had no reference point, you know? There was no actual text that substantiated that doctrine that he pushed, you know? But the doctrine that the men of the Lord are bringing out and brothers are bringing out all over the internet is substantiated and rooted in the scriptures, man. I can see if we were just making it up, okay, then people would have a problem believing it. Of course, okay? Because it's not backed by anything. All right? But this is coming straight from the scriptures. Okay? And I'm going to just get real quickly before I have to deal with my Edomite housemates, you know. This is Salakia. This is what do I want? Hebrews 12 and 16. Now let's deal with knowledge, man. Okay? Let's deal with knowledge, because you had a so-called, he wasn't even an Israelite, man, you know. He was a so-called Negro. That's what he was, an African-American, a black. That's who he was. He came up to the camp the other night trying to defend his Edomite wife, okay, saying that you can be spiritual Israel. Bitch came up. The thing that makes me Yasher All, I was like, bitch, it's not even Yasher All, man. It's Yasher Allah, okay? And according to the scripture, if you're of the seed of Esau, Abraham, Isaac, and Esau, your destiny is slavery, no matter how many laws you keep, okay? Point blank, period. There is no way to change your nationality. No spiritual Israelite, man. Okay? But anyways, the guy came up and he didn't want to deal with knowledge. Okay? Through the men of the Lord bringing this truth out, it's common knowledge that Esau is the so-called white man. Even Urban Dictionary has that down to a T correctly. You mean to tell me Urban Dictionary can get it right, but the rest of the world can't? The rest of the oikoumene can't? Okay, let me say it in its correct way. The rest of the oikoumene can't get it right? You know? It literally tells you that Esau is the so-called white man. The Romans were Edomites. I told him that to his face. Have you not done the research? The nationality of the Romans they were Edomites. Okay? So if they were Edomites, what makes all these so-called white people, what are they? What is their race? They're the same as the Romans. The same exact people. You know? Now let's deal with knowledge. Because according to the so-called white man, you can just make shit up. Okay, but we're not doing that. This is coming directly from the scripture, and that's why I titled this, His Lies Have Backfired, man. Okay? Point blank, period, man. If something is not rooted and founded and based in the truth, eventually it's going to come to the light. What's really true. And what's really true is Esau is the devil, the so-called white man, the Edomites. He's going into slavery. Okay? Our people are not genetically predisposed to any of the wickedness that he said. It's actually quite the opposite. Okay? Which is why, for being such a low people, everybody really wants to be like Jake. Okay? But anyways, this is Hebrews 12 and 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. So the scripture is making it clear that the so-called white man is the most profane person. He is the biggest fornicator on the planet. That's what the scripture said, man. And we didn't just think this up. This is written. This is the reference point. You know? All right, we didn't just make some bullshit up. Oh, and it's not because of the so-called white man's skin. Okay? His skin, his lack of pigmentation doesn't make him who he is. Because you have Edomites that look like all other nations. Okay? And it's not the skin color or their facial features that make them the way that they are. It's the seed that they're from, man. Point blank, period. Matter of fact, let me get that. All right, and this is the scripture that what's his face? Pastor Steven Anderson likes to bring out. This is Jeremiah 49:10. It says, "But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled," man. Okay, so this has nothing to do with his skin color, all right, or his hair texture, or his facial features, his recessive genes. No, it's because of his seed. Okay, the seed of the wicked. Matter of fact, that brings me back to Romans, man. See, but this is the truth. This is how you know it's the truth, because there's a reference point that says all this. Okay, and it wasn't just thought up out of thin air. It wasn't just some mumbo jumbo bullshit pseudoscience. This is actual. This is the truth. Okay, and through an observation, a scientific observation, an observation made based around knowledge and logic, you can see that these are true, man. Romans 9. And I'm gonna go all the way down. Salakia. Romans 9:10. And not only this, but when Rebekah also had conceived by one, even by our father Isaac, for the children being not yet born. Okay? So when you get down to it, Esau is the one that's genetically predisposed to being wicked, man, because of his seed. Okay, why? Because it says for the children being not yet born, man. He was set up in the spirit before he was even made a physical seed. All right, it was set up that way. This is the reference point, which he has none. Okay, all his madness he just thought up. It says, neither having done any good or evil. Okay, so yeah, I mean, yeah, you got Edomites that didn't enslave Jakes. Okay, all right, and they've come all the way back in reincarnation, and they still get condemned just like the rest of their race, just like the rest of their forefathers. Okay, because it's the seed of Esau. He's the one that's predisposed to do evil. Okay, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of the Most High according to the election might stand, not of works but of him that calleth, man. All right, real quick, let me close on let me just see if it's going off or not. All right, it says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. That's where they think of these things. Jake is just genetically predisposed to be wicked, to be a demon, to be ignorant, to not know nothing, to just be a nigga. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity, who whet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words.